Alright, so I'm home from the range. I said I'd do this, and I'm going to do this. It's not really a comparison, although it is. I'm going to point out similarities and differences between these two things. My Ruger SP1011, it is all stainless steel, weighs 25 ounces. Um, it is a 357 Magnum. This thing will survive a nuclear war, like literally. This thing is massively built. The 642 that I was shooting today, that I shot acceptably well with, a little more practice won't hurt, but I feel very confident in being able to defend myself with this. This weighs like 15 ounces, so what is that, like 2 or 3 ounces difference, right? Yeah, no, it's like 10 ounces, right? Um, I can carry this. I don't have a problem with it. This has a better trigger, without question, a much better trigger. It's got kind of the push button release for the cylinder. As opposed to having to push forward and do it. Either one works fine. It's not a problem. But I kind of prefer that little push button thing. Um, I am looking for a good holster for this, and I think I know which brand I'm going to go for. I just haven't gotten around to ordering it, just because it's so easy to 15 ounces. I don't know what it weighs loaded, what, 18 ounces or something, but it's so easily just stick in your pocket. Now this has, it does, like I say, this one has a better trigger. This one's a heavier trigger, but I think what I've been told, they did that on purpose for, it's like a safety. When you got it in your pocket, you want kind of a heavier trigger. You have to intend to fire it. This one's got a much smoother, lighter trigger, like big time. And you can really stage the thing. You get it right there. Kind of like having a single action, double action, single action. You can do the same with this one. It's harder to do though. I can do it. Let me see if I can. Here we go. There we go. And then bang. So they both have a hammer. This one's internal. This one's external. Um, I carry this all the time. I carry this all the time. I don't have a problem with carrying this one either. I've carried this around in my back pocket too. No problem. Um, Works just fine. But this one, just because of its lightweight and everything. And I'll try to put these videos together so you can see how I shot. Otherwise, they'll just be two separate videos. Um, I put the whole grips on it. The factory ones are fine, really. I ordered these. I put them on there, and they're just a little stickier. You know what I mean? I just get a little bit better grip on it. They're almost identical in profile and everything. I think these are a little wider. I think that's. I don't have huge hands, but I certainly don't have small hands by any means. And this one, all sights are fixed. Uh, the Ruger, you can actually replace the front one, and I've seen night sights for them. I was going to order one, I just never got around to it. And I know that Smith and Wesson, there's a version, the Ellipses version, that has, if I'm, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it comes from the factory with a night sight in the front. They're both dovetailed in, so I'm sure there's aftermarkets with for night sights in the rear. That would be really nice to have. They both have just blade sights. I mean, they're just. This one I painted orange. I'm gonna have to paint this one orange too. I just haven't gotten around to it. This one sucks up recoil much, much better. Now I went and put 60 rounds through this today. I could have put 300 rounds through it easy. It depends on how recoil sensitive you are. I could shoot this all day long and be happy. No problem. No issue. This one for sure, even with magnums, this thing isn't bad at all. Just because of the weight of it, the good grips, great big grips you can really get your hand on. Um, but between the two of them, I don't know which one I like better. They both have their own attributes that make them attractive. You know what I mean? And this one, just for its sheer lightweight, I mean, this thing just weighs nothing. There's nothing there. This one, this one's got a little kaboom to it. But this thing, and both of them, I mean, compared to an automatic, they have to worry about feeding and all that stuff, extraction, ejection, all that kind of stuff. With either one of these, you basically have, no, they can fail. Revolvers can fail. They can have issues. But basically, you're guaranteed 5 good shots with either one of these. You know what I mean? It's just going to go boom. This one does have a weird little issue that I'm going to send it. Smith & Wesson sent me an RA to send it back, but it's not that big a really big deal, but it's in the back of my head that I know there's something a little bit weird about it. So I got to get that over and get it sent out to them and see if they can figure out a fix or whatever. Both are great firearms. Either one, if you're looking for, and statistically, I mean, the mall ninjas, they need 3 fully automatic handguns with 10 500 round magazines and blah blah blah. Statistically, they say, what is it? A gun battle will happen within 10 feet and less than 3 rounds will be fired. So 5 rounds, 5 rounds. I think I'm going to be okay. And I know how to shoot well enough that, uh, and you always want to run away anyway. You never just go to the gun and start blasting. You want to run. You want to get out of there. That's what I want to do. If I'm cornered and I don't have a chance. I'm just screwed. All right, now we're gonna go to bang bang. You know. Um, but if I ever ran into anything bigger than that, yeah, I'm just completely undergunned and I'm screwed. That's just the way that it is. Um, I do carry speed loaders for them. I have different speed loaders. They both take the same speed loader, so but I have different brands and different styles and different things the way they work. This one, I I had one of these many years ago, and I let it get away from me, and I shouldn't have. As soon as I did it, I'm like, why did I do that? But this new one is the Pro model, and it's cut for moon clips, which is nice. If I can see if I can do this one-handed. So that's a moon clip. Just all 5 rounds together. You just slip it in there, and boom, you're done. 5 rounds. I know the safety Nazis are going to be all over me for putting live rounds in there, but I don't care. Whatever. I know what I'm doing. Um, it's a fantastic firearm. I shot very acceptably with it today. I will again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Um, if I really was in a bad situation and really needed a firearm, and I was going to have a revolver, I'd rather have the SP1001, really, because this thing is just an absolute tank. It is built so well. The fit, the finish, the quality, everything about it. The trigger pull is better. It's just, it's just. But when you're walking around with it in your pocket all day, every single day, well, a little lighter, that's better. Uh, when I was younger, it wouldn't have mattered. Now I'm getting old, and yeah, a few extra ounces, I feel it. But this thing, I'll try to get this out next weekend and shoot it and see how I shoot with that. I know I'll shoot well. This thing is just, and the grips are, like I said, the grips are so good on this thing, right from the factory. It is a little bit bigger. This one I think has a 2.25 inch barrel, if I remember correctly. This one's like 1.88, something like that. It's a little shorter in the grip. Everything's just a little bit smaller, and it's just way lighter. You can throw this in your pocket and forget you even have it. And this one here, though, you want something that's going to just, you can hand down to your kid, and then your kid can hand it down to their kid, and their kid can hand it down to their kid. You probably want to look at the SP1011. These suffer from high roundage from frame stretch. I've never seen it. I don't know what that means, but that's what I'm told is frame stretch because of the aluminum alloy frame. But most people don't shoot these much, so most of them are going to last. You know, I mean, I could hand this down to my kid, and she could hand it down to her kid if she ever had one, and so on. Um, and I don't shoot much I don't shoot anything much anymore. So, but the Ruger has like just a whole machined frame. The Smith and Wesson, there's two halves to it, so you have all these screws and stuff. This thing, the way this thing is built, maybe I'll do a video about taking it apart. The the engineering that went into this thing is just ridiculous. I mean, they really nailed it. This thing is just throw a hand grenade in it. It won't care. Just pick it up and shoot it. This one, not so much. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about next weekend. Maybe I'll take this out and shoot it a little bit. Get a little video of it. I wasn't talking much at the range just because I didn't think I was some crazy guy over there talking to himself. So there's very little. I didn't talk much about any of it at the range. And I don't even know if a lot of the ranges don't want you making videos in there. So I wasn't trying to make it obvious that I was making a video. Um, I don't know about that one particularly. I didn't see a sign. I've been in ranges where they just have a big sign that says no video allowed. I did not see one there. I've known the owner of that range for Jesus, 40 years, whatever. And I've known the guy for a very long time. Although he didn't even know who I was when I walked in there today. But he's getting really old and he's getting senile. And Sue that works there was like, "Oh, he can't hear you. Oh, he doesn't know who you are. Oh, he this and that. Blah blah blah." So I don't know if he has like Alzheimer's or something, but he didn't even know who I was. I've known him for 40 years. He didn't even know who I was when I walked in there. I haven't been in there for a long time, but whatever. Just saying. I think Roger's getting a little fuzzy. Um, but yeah, if you're looking for just a self-defense pistol, whether it's you keep it in your house or you want to carry it with you or whatever, both of these are good options. Just figure out which one. You can go to ranges and rent firearms and shoot them, but you go in there and you shoot a few rounds. You think, yeah, I like this thing, and then later on you're like, well, yeah, I really don't. So you need to take more time to uh, put rounds through them and see which one you really like. I say, 60 rounds today. I could have done 300. I could have done 500. It wasn't an issue. It's just a 38, which you know. And now we'll start the caliber war. 38s have been around. They started making. I don't know when the 38 was invented, as far as the cartridge, but they've been making these little Smith and Wesson J frames for since the 50s, and there's no way to even know how many millions of them have been sold. Um, they were originally designed for like detectives, so they could just carry them in their pocket, which is why it has a, a, a you know a heavier trigger. Just it's kind of a built-in safety device thing. Um, but these have been around forever, and they make frames, steel frame, scandium, the this aluminum alloy. They've been making them out of everything. Who knows how many millions of these have been made and sold? These things are just it's a it's a Smith and Wesson hit a gold mine with that, no question. Now I see a lot of people poo-pooing the SP1001. Oh, it's too heavy, or it's this, or it's that. It's really not. It's not too heavy. It's not this. It's not that. And Ruger knows how to make a revolver, big time. I have been eyeballing the Kimber K6XS, which is a 38. It's basically this Smith and Wesson, but it's a 6 round instead of 5 rounds. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on them. Some people, oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Other people say, oh, my, just a piece of crap. I had to send it back. Whatever. Now that's a company that um, has always made automatics, and they're fairly new to. Although I think they've been making them for 6 or 7 years now or something, but fairly new to revolvers. So they're going to have growing pains, and they're going to have just like anything else. Doesn't matter, an engine, a transmission, a differential, whatever. You design something, you build it, and you send it out there, and you're like, oh yeah, this isn't quite right. Maybe we need to tweak this or do that, or whatever. So it's no different than they are building a computer or a, it doesn't matter, motorcycle, whatever. Oh yeah, we kind of screwed that up. Okay, let's tweak that and redesign that and make it better. So, um, but I've been into gun shops all over town, and I've never found one that has a K6XS in stock. So I've never even been able to touch one or feel one or smell it or you know, what's that smell like? So um, that might be a thing for the future. But for now, right now, this is what I carry every single day. I just throw it in my back pocket. And the safety Nazis are going to say, well, you need a pocket holster. No, I don't. Let's throw that in my pocket. It's got a good heavy trigger. There's no way I'm going to accidentally fire it. It's not happening, you know. But if between the two, if I had to, I'm going to combat. I'm going to Iraq or I'm going to Afghanistan, and I want to back up in case my rifle and my sidearm fail, something on my ankle or something where I'm just in my back pocket, whatever. I'd take the Ruger every single day. This thing is just absolutely a work of art, and it is built. You could sit there and beat on this thing with a hammer for a while and then just take it out and shoot it, and it'd just be like, okay, I'll just shoot. I don't care. Um, so even if I did carry it, I'd probably carry 38 plus P ammo like I do in this, rather than 357 Magnum. Um, but either way, I mean, I could shoot this all day with 357 Magnum rounds, and it wouldn't bother me as long as I have hearing protection on. I made the mistake one day. I went out shooting. Actually, I think I shot both of these that day with no hearing protection, and both my ears literally rang for like a week. It was bad. These little revolvers are really, really, really loud. Short barrel. It's a revolver, so you get all the blast coming out between the cylinder and the barrel. And yeah, these things are loud as hell. So that's something you want to be mindful of too. Is make sure when you're shooting them, put on hearing protection because it's gonna hurt. There's no question about it. But the one I'd take into a end of the world freaking battle thing, the Ruger for sure. But every day just walking around, the Smith & Wesson just has a little edge just because it's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, and it'll do, I mean, anytime there's a bad situation, just get out of there. Just leave, run, go. Um, if you can't, and you have to defend yourself, well, then that's what you do. But just first of all, just run. And I can't imagine being in a situation where I'd need more than 5 rounds. Oh, it could happen. Does happen. It has happened many, many times. Um, but I just don't think. I most times I think just the presentation of it, people are just going to run. You know what I mean? But if they don't, you know, I would. It's the last thing. The last thing I ever want to do is employ a self-defense tool. It's not a weapon. It's a tool. And the last thing I would ever want to do is have to do that. But if I had to, I certainly would. Otherwise, I wouldn't carry one around with me. Um, but just kind of a, I don't know, a comparison. Not really a comparison, kind of a comparison. Just pointing out similarities and differences and that kind of stuff. You can see how just this barrel's just a little bit longer, but it's all stainless steel. Well, so is this one, but it's got the full lug underneath. It's got all, so it does weigh a bit more. Um, but I'm 100% comfortable with carrying either one of these every day of the year. And so if you need a 50 caliber machine gun with 8,000 rounds in it, okay, carry that, but have fun doing it. I'm not going to. Anyway, maybe possibly next week I will get the Ruger out and shoot it. Love shooting this thing. It is just a dream to shoot every day of the year. Um, just a comparison, kind of differences, whatever video. Y'all stay safe out there. Careful. Don't need one of these. Please don't need one. If you do, just bring it with you. You know, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it every single day of the year. Mm. Lost one. God damn it. Getting a little loose at the head there. Yeah, a little loose down there too, I guess, but not as bad. Took a piece of brass right to my right eye. acceptable. Not great, but acceptable. That was pretty good. That was with the armor too, so that's a good thing. That's it for today. Maybe next week I'll come out with my SP1. I'll do a little video about this revolver later. That's about it for today. Carry ammo definitely grouped better than that other stuff. The hollow points. That's a good thing. Except I don't remember what brand it is, so I'll have to look at the box and I'll get more of that, because that prints really well. So I'll do a little video about this little revolver later. Try to put them together. The new editor I'm using is weird and I have trouble with it. So we'll see if I can make it happen or not.
Assuming this is up and down.